केंद्र सरकार में मंत्री श्री संतोष कुमार गंगवार जी, सचिव श्री अपूर्व चंद्रा जी, श्रीमती महानिर्देशक श्रीमती अनुराधा प्रसाद जी और डीन डॉक्टर असीम दास जी, छात्रों और मेरे प्यारे बच्चों, मैं सचमुच में बहुत प्रसन्न हूँ आज इस समारोह में आके आप लोगों का दीक्षांतर समारोह में ये मेडल्स प्रस्तुत करना और साथ ही साथ इस सेरेमनी में भाग लेना मन में बहुत संतोष देता है। आई एम वेरी प्लीज्ड to be here with you all on this first graduation day of the ESIC Medical College, Faridabad. It is the first graduation day. It is a regenerating experience for me to be part of the graduation day ceremony because I see all around me the future of India. And moreover, I am more happy for one reason. For a moment, I thought it's a women's college. But all the medal winners, all the medal winners are girls. That's a very positive trend. And this should be encouraged. Because 50% of the population of the country are women. So we need to encourage women to join every field. If you give them an opportunity, they will excel. एक ताज़ा उदाहरण है, आपको उनको मौका मिला, उन्होंने अपना प्रतिभा प्रदर्शन किया है। मौका मिलना चाहिए, अवसर मिलना चाहिए, प्रोत्साहन मिलना चाहिए, फिर वो अपना प्रतिभा प्रकाशित कर पाएंगे. This is what is required. And India, tomorrow we are celebrating International Women's Day. And today it has become ESI College's Women's Day because all toppers are women. Boys need not worry. They are your sisters. And you can take inspiration from them and compete for the next round. And one should really feel happy in our children. They get educated and most of them are women. That should be a very heartening thing for anybody. The Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Bhai Modi, has taken up a campaign, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, Beti Badhao. That should be the spirit of India. India, once upon a time during a Vedic period, women were in the forefront. Maitreyi, Gargi, so many. They used to give pravachan about Upanishads and Vedas those days. And in India, most of the rivers are also named after women. Narmada, Tapati, Mahanadi, Krishna, Godavari, Saraswati, Yamuna. You remember any river? Most of them. That is the respect we used to give to women, even in our Puranas or Vedic period. But in between, because of invasion, because of other things, we lost the track. Now again the time has come that we must encourage woman, girl, child to go to school and also to compete with others. I am very happy. The youth represent our great nation's future and hold the key to its progress. Looking at these young faces, brimming with hope and enthusiasm and optimism gives me great joy. I feel about my country's future, our motherland's future. Future is not only to make it economically strong, stable, prosperous, but also to make it happy. Happiness is more important than wealth. Health is important, wealth is also important, but more important than these two is happiness. That happiness comes through excellence. Happiness comes through service. Happiness comes through following our age-old practice of share and care. Share and care is the core of Indian philosophy. You share your wealth with others, then you care for others, then you will be more than happy. That should be our motto, my children, youngsters, who are all going to this job. Do your duty to the best of your ability and take that as a mission. Once upon a time, politics, medicine, education was considered as a mission, pious mission. People used to do it with passion. Never used to give any omission or give any remission or take any commission. That used to be the passion. So I call upon all the youngsters who are joining this medical profession, that too for employees. Treat this as a noble mission. Accomplish that mission with all passion and strengthen the nation. That should be our motto. Of course, salaries will be there, amenities will be there, encouragements will be there. That is the duty of the government, and government of the day, they does it. They will do it also. But we derive more satisfaction, more happiness, or even if you believe in punya, you will get more punya also. When I see the young faces, when I come to the graduation ceremony, I go around the country. You know, I was in public life. Of course, I am no more in politics. I have retired from politics. I do not belong to Santosh Gangwarji's party now, though I might have been once upon a time was president of that party. But now I am in a constitutional responsibility. I always used to enjoy meeting, greeting, talking, walking, eating along with the people, spending time with the people, going around the country, interacting with the students. So after becoming vice president, because you know this constitutional post has certain responsibilities and also some restrictions, and also there is a protocol. So keeping that in mind, I told my officers, we must change, and the vice president should not be stationary. He should be going around, meeting the people. So that's why after I became vice president, I started moving around the country, going to IITs, IIITs, IESR, IIMs, AIIMS, medical institutions, agriculture institutions, research stations, farmers organizations, NGO organizations, service sector. I've been going around talking to the youngsters, trying to know what are their aspirations, trying to understand what are their expectations, and trying to understand the brightness and new ideas they give, and also understand their problems, if any, and convey it to the government from time to time in my own way. That's how I'm enjoying, that's why I'm enjoying this responsibility. Otherwise, you know, my aptitude was moving along with the people. My dear friends, when I go around the country and I see the progress that is being made, I feel really happy. And I see the youngsters and I feel reassured about the future of my country, that it's going to be bright, and then we have youngsters who are committed to the welfare of the country. Country, nation means, do not mean that geographical boundary. Country means all the 130 crore people. Irrespective of caste, creed, sex, religion and region, India is one. We are one nation, one people. We must take care of all of them. The suppressed, the oppressed, the depressed people. The men, women, the child and the aged. All the welfare of those people should be our motto. That is really nationalism. When you say Vande Mataram, when you say Bharat Mata ko Jai, Jai Ho Bharat Mata means Jai Ho to 130 crore people. That should be our attitude. And we should not discriminate people on the basis of religion, on the basis of caste, on the basis of region, on the basis of gender. We should see to it that we treat everybody. This your institution is running 6 medical colleges at Faridabad, Sanat Nagar, Hyderabad and Telangana, KK Nagar, Chennai, Rajaji Nagar, Bengaluru, and Joka in West Bengal. Moreover, 2 more medical colleges are coming up, as was just informed, at Alwar in Rajasthan and Bheta near Patna in Bihar. Besides 6 postgraduate institutes of medical science and research, 2 dental colleges, 2 nursing colleges, and 1 paramedical institute are also being run by ESIC. All this points out to a pioneering, much-needed initiative in healthcare. Further, it is heartening to know that many seats in these institutions are reserved for the wards of insured workers who belong to lower strata of society. We must take care of the workers who are working for the welfare of the nation. So it is our duty. Dear students, graduating is a memorable day in the life of any student. It marks the culmination of all your years of hard work and learning. As a medical graduate, you are now ready to put into practice all that you have learned over the years. Remember that service should underpin the core of your efforts in the year to come. I have always believed that if you serve humanity with a spirit of selfless dedication, you will experience this, and then you will get and derive boundless satisfaction. You will experience this for yourself once you start devoting yourself to the cause of serving the fellow human beings. As doctors, all of you belong to one of the noblest professions known to the man. The path you have chosen demands compassion, adherence to a high level of values and ethics. Do not compromise on them. Ethics, values, standards are very, very important. Do not compromise on them. COVID-19 pandemic caused a sickness and a death on a global scale, and it is at such testing time that your generation is stepping out into a new world. The COVID is coming to be almost over, but we cannot be complacent. And now, because of the climate change and other changes, these climate change has become real. So you are likely to get many challenges. So how do you equip yourselves to face those challenges? That is the challenge before the nation. As soldiers on the front lines of pandemic, you will play a critical role in this fight against novel coronavirus. With the largest vaccination drive in the world against COVID-19 currently underway in India, the worst phase of this unprecedented health crisis appears to be over. However, we must continue to be vigilant and take all the necessary precautions individually and collectively till we stamp out the threat posed by the microscopic organism decisively. Resilience, research, and reinvention helped India become a torchbearer in contributing to global solutions during this unprecedented pandemic. Our doctors, our scientists, and our policy makers, the paramedical staff, the security people, the sanitary people, they have all taken very much interest, and they could all succeed in containing the spread of this virus. I salute the entire medical fraternity, from doctors to nurses, paramedical staff, and sanitary workers, technicians, and ASHA workers in villages who, as Team India, came together as one to fight the pandemic. From PPE kits to surgical gloves and face masks to ventilators and vaccines, our industry ramped up the manufacture of all essential items. Today, not only are we able to meet our domestic demand for PPEs, for example, but are also exporting to other countries. The untiring efforts and the ingenuity of our researchers and scientists need to be applauded. My dear students, along with combating this pandemic, we have to pay our attention to other pressing challenges. Non-communicable diseases are increasing. This year, Economic Survey states that about 65% of the deaths in India are now caused on account of non-communicable diseases, NCDs. This is a cause of concern. As young medical professionals, I urge upon all of you to not only adopt a healthy and balanced lifestyle, but motivate others. There has to be a concerted effort for all stakeholders to arrest the trend of growing NCDs. So, important thing, the lesson we have learned from this COVID is lifestyle. Sedentary lifestyle is no good at all. We must go back to our old lifestyle. Be active, do some exercise. It is yoga or walking or cycling or jogging, whatever it is, do have some exercise. If you start becoming lazy, then you will become crazy. And you will be spoiling your future. So it's very important that everyone must practice some sport. I am 71 plus now. I play badminton every day, 1 hour. You're at this age. That's the reason I could move around. Yesterday evening I was in Surat. Yesterday I was out. In the afternoon I was in Navasari. And yesterday morning I was in Tirupati. Day for yesterday I was in Tirumala, having Lord Balaji's darshan after so many years. Just move on. That gives you more energy. That gives you more satisfaction. So this physical fitness, if you are physically fit, then you will be mentally alert. Physical fitness is a strength. Second is about the lifestyle. The lifestyle has to be very active. We should not go for sedentary lifestyle. Third one is food habits. You may be surprised, Dr. Sir, Vice President of India is telling us about food. I am not going to suggest any food code. Whatever food you want to eat, eat. But eat proteinous food. Delicious. And there is no dearth of food varieties in India. Thousands of years of varieties are there. North, south, east, west. Our forefathers, grandparents, their grandparents, for years together, they lived, they practiced, they developed, and gave us various varieties. And our food is prepared according to season, Rutu, season and reason. That's why time tested. If you look at the COVID, world over the challenge is very severe. Compared to world, ours is comparatively less, in spite of 130 crore population. And in that, rural people are less affected. Rural people, 98% of the farmers are not affected. Farm production, for your information, when every sector was affected in this COVID, the only sector which moved on was agriculture sector, farming sector. The farming production has increased by 4% than last before year, in a COVID. The farmers, they worked hard. The reason for the rural people to survive more is because of air circulation, because of light. Light and air circulation is very vital for a healthy life. With the architecture, the new plans, all this modern thing and all has changed our lifestyle. In urban areas, we are living in a closed atmosphere. Car closed. Office closed. Theaters closed. Restaurants closed from all sides, closed. Go home, closed. And then bedroom, closed. Mind also closed. Air circulation is very important. As Vice President, I am meeting people in my house under the tree, outside, sitting under the tree and giving appointments because air is moving freely. The virus cannot spread. This is one lesson, simple lesson. So I tell people also, the architect also plans such a way that there be light coming to house and also air circulation is there. Nowadays fashion. So I tell all these people, fashion is okay, but keep the facility, comfort. I told one architect girl, she came and I took her to washroom, opened the tap. Half of the water was going into the wash basin, remaining is coming on us. I told her, what is this? She said, sir, it is a fashion now. Shallow or hollow? I told her. Keep in mind, Saundaryama, Saukaryama. Saundaryama, Saukaryama. It's a Telugu word. Saundaryam means beauty, aesthetics. Saukaryam means comfort. You have to focus more on comfort. See, those days, during your younger days, ask your mothers. In the village, in the house, in one room, there used to be one light. Now you go to restaurant, go to many meeting places, even in some of the houses, 20, 30 lights, but no light. 20, 30 lights, but no light. To read, there is no proper lighting because we are arresting the natural light. Avoiding the sun, not your sun, I'm talking of the bright sun. We are fortunate, 365 days we have sunlight. So we should take advantage of nature. That's why I say nature, culture, together for bright future. This should be remembered. Nature, culture, together for bright future. This should be a motto. You must advise people who come to you, the patients, their parents, the others. Advise them about the need to have physical fitness. Advise them to have good dietary habits. And one boy, and I was taking, he said, sir, it's all okay, sir. Good food is okay. But nowadays food is instant food, sir. I told him, instant food means constant disease. You have to understand this. How can food be instant? Food has to be cooked properly. This is a basic thing. Pizza, burger, they are good for those countries, for that weather, but not for Indian weather. Our weather, we have our own specialities. So focus on good food habits and have proteinous food. Don't go for junk food. My dear youngsters, the rural areas are the major concern. You don't have adequate medical facilities in the rural areas. And also low doctor-patient ratio. Out-of-pocket expenditure is increasing. Shortage of medical colleges in the country. Inadequate infrastructure in the rural areas. The Prime Minister has told that there should be one medical college in every district. Even ESI is also planning on those. You must have more and more medical colleges. I am happy that Medical Council of India, that those requirements, they are now trying to become reasonable. How do you get 25 acres in an urban area? Free land nowadays. And you are going multi-storied and all. One has to think about the realities on the ground and then plan accordingly. The medical debt is a major cause of poverty in India because people spend more money on medical side, on education side. These are the two sectors where the government has to focus more and where the private sector also need to be encouraged. And the PPP models, public-private partnership, is the way forward. There is no other way. One has to keep that in understanding. And the government should focus more on infrastructure, more on service, medical, and also the education side, less on doing business, government doing business, starting hotels, airlines, and incurring losses and taxing the people. We have seen, we have enough of it. Government should focus on road, electricity, drinking water, sanitation, more schools, more colleges, more universities, more medical colleges, more nursing colleges, more technicians. Technicians are going to be very much in demand with the increase of these institutions and all. And the technology is moving forward. And we have to train our youngsters in the technology also. So these things are very important. The ESI, I'm happy to note, has got largest social security program covering roughly 10% of Indian population. This safety net lies at the core of our age-old philosophy of share and care. Every worker who earns up to 21,000 per month in establishments have 10 or more employees is eligible. The scheme currently has close to 3.5 crore insured persons and a total of 13.3 crore beneficiaries who get a variety of benefits relating to medical, disablement, and maternity. These statistics reflect the scope and extent of sweeping safety net provided by the government. But we must move on. Despite this vast coverage, there is still scope for improvement to ensure better customer experience, grievance redressal, and improved health outcomes. I'm happy that the Minister of Labour and Employment has rightfully initiated major reforms in ESIC to ensure safety, security, and health of every worker. I am happy to know that ESIC entered into a partnership with the National Health Authority, which is running Ayushman Bharat. This will create an ecosystem to facilitate the beneficiaries of the ESI scheme of selected district to access service at Ayushman Bharat empaneled hospitals. Also, the ESI corporation shall be able to provide medical service to PMJAY beneficiaries through its underutilized hospitals. This will ensure synergy among these schemes for better health conditions. I appreciate ESIC's initiatives in recent years to provide health service to people other than its insured persons by granting approval to open its underutilized hospitals to the general public on a nominal user charge basis. It's a very good initiative. My dear youngsters, it's a matter of satisfaction that over the past few decades, India has emerged as an attractive medical tourism hub in the region. Our nation is witnessing huge footfall of foreign visitors on medical visas. Today, many medical centers with state-of-the-art facilities and highly skilled professionals are offering latest treatment protocol and procedures at lesser rates when compared to developed countries. As you move ahead in your career, always remember the motto of service and to uphold values. You should never deviate from the virtuous path. Remember to lend a human touch while treating your patients at all times. Doctor should spend some time with patient. Hear him or her. Understand the actual problem rather than immediately prescribing MRI or CT scan, this scan and all. Okay, if they are necessary, yes. But first of all, you must hear the patient. You must be patient to hear the patient. You must have that patience. One has to understand. I would like to congratulate all graduating doctors here once again. I would like to congratulate your parents also, because they are the people who have provided you this opportunity of getting educated in this noble profession. I also would like to congratulate faculty of ESIC Medical College, Faridabad, on this August occasion of the first graduation day ceremony, and wish you all the best in your future endeavors. I also thank the Labour Minister, Sri Santosh Gangwarji, for inviting me to this function. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.